Hi everybody, I'm back. All right, moving on to the next recipe, we are going to start on our hummus recipe. Now this is going to be a white bean hummus, so a little something different. It doesn't quite have the same texture or flavor as a garbanzo bean or a chickpea, but I like the smoothness of it. A white bean meaning those white beans you'll see in Italian dishes or minestrone soup, you name it. I have those all over my kitchen in my pantry, dried and canned and, well, you name it. So it's readily available. It's pretty cheap, especially when you buy it dry. And I thought it was a good substitute and a fun little addition to, well, my Thanksgiving menu and hopefully yours. So right here, I actually have the finished product because I like to let mine sit overnight. And the recipe's so simple that I'm not even gonna run through that part. I'm gonna run through the whole medicating and how to take care of that, especially in a group setting. So I always have the recipe here for me. Even though I wrote the recipe, I'm a stickler for following every rule. So please, by all means, have yours handy as you go through. You can find all the recipes online at Vox Pro events, and there will be a link up online under the Cannabis magazine website as well as their Instagram. So essentially what I start with is I like to use a low sodium, not no sodium and definitely not regular, but I like to use a lower sodium white bean. And I rinse it well. And then I actually let them dry out for like 10 minutes. Any excess moisture, any excess salt, any of that stuff has been wiped away, but there's still a bit of inherent saltiness in the bean, which is nice and it's needed in the recipe itself, but you don't actually have to add as much salt yourself in the recipe, so it's a lower sodium. And then we have 3 tablespoons tahini. What is tahini? It is glorious. It's essentially sesame seeds ground up into a version of peanut butter, and I eat peanut butter from the jar, so to me this was an easy addition. And as well as very traditional, for me and my household, the Israeli hummus that we make all the time. And then we have fresh garlic. There's nothing like fresh garlic. I put a little extra in, but the recipe may call for 2 cloves. I put in 3, to each their own. It has lemon juice and the zest from the lemon and scallions. I actually chop my scallions to begin with, just about that long, just to give the food processor a little help to get it started. So then in our food processor, you put all of the ingredients listed in the recipe and as well as the dosing information that you can find online, and you blend away. But I rarely get to show people how to finish hummus. So that's what I thought was unique about today, is I thought I would go there and show you this. In this recipe, I added fresh herbs. I had rosemary left over from the crackers and parsley. I used curly parsley. I don't know why no one uses it anymore, but I like it. I think it has more of a verdant vegetable flavor. Tastes more green, essentially. So I take the hummus and I know exactly how many servings are in this. So I'm gonna do my best to get this started with a spoon. Leave that spoon there. Mind you, all of this is going to factor into my medicating part. So hold that thought. I like to grab a spatula and a knife. Here's why. One of the keys to keeping consistent dosing and understand what you're putting in your body is, first of all, consistency in your methods and being precise. That's not precise. So I'm going to take my spatula, and each time I go around, this might seem excessive. This is what I do to ensure I'm getting what I know I want to get. And scrape off every bit. You don't have to be perfect right here because you still have more to go. Now, as my spoon, there we go. And you want to get this container as clean can be. So I'm going to do a fairly good job, but in my kitchen at my house, that will be pristine. It will look as if it just came out of the dishwasher. And you want to get every bit of this in your dish and off your utensils and out of your container. All right, this would be pristine clean, but you get the idea. Now, there are two methodologies to how people like to dose. And I think part of this can be community oriented and part of it can be done for them. So if you would like to take out the guesswork for your guests, this is where this comes in. I have a scale. I think it may cost $19 on Amazon. They don't support me. I just like this brand. It's easy, it's accurate, and it does the job. So I always have, well, I have 3 of those scales now. That's how much I like them. But I always have one with me when I'm doing this. If you would like to take the guesswork out of portioning this for your guests, do it for them. Now, what I mean by that is go to the dollar store, get these little plastic cups. You can get any style, any size, anything that you would like. And I'll get that started in just a second. I know that right here, I have 30 portions of 2 tablespoons each, which means 1 serving is 2 tablespoons. And I then weigh 2 tablespoons and get that exact weight. Done. So then what you do is you weigh out each portion of your hummus for your guests. And I'm just going to do this as a demo. Now, what I like to do is, traditionally speaking, when I make hummus and I put out a Mediterranean style spread for any event that I do, I present hummus like this. I put an indentation in the center, and you can drizzle a little olive oil over that. Then, one of my favorite spices, pretty much of all time, is za'atar. This is how it's spelled, just so you know. It's lemony, it's fruity, it has seeds, so it's nutty. It really plays off of the hemp oil that I'm choosing to use. And in this recipe, I actually combined 2. I combined the culinary, the olive oil, low dose CBD oil, with the higher dose, no flavor, medical CBD oil. So I have both a culinary and a medical doing double duty in my recipe. So now that we know we have all of this ready, I take the za'atar. I'm just going to put a little in here. You want to sprinkle it a little over the top. Really, this is just for extra flavor. And it really does bring up all of the herbal notes and the actual hemp oil, all those notes in there. It really helps to accentuate that. And then I have fancy salt, it's Maldon salt. You don't have to do this, but as you can see when I say fancy salt, they're just like big flakes, big squares of salt versus your table salt. And I like to just give a tiny little sprinkling over the top of the Maldon salt just because it's actually pretty crunchy and I like that crunch. All right, then you can do this for the 4 or 5 people that you have coming with you. You can have your leftovers. And I love doing this is that you give people an appetizer plate. Let me grab one really quick, just 1 second. So as you can see here, we have this appetizer plate where you can give them their portion of the CBD-infused hummus. with the crackers you made. Again, I did mine a little darker because I like them super crunchy and nutty. And so I'm going to give a little bit of both and a few of the store-bought ones. All I did is I took a store-bought flatbread, broke it in half, and added that in there. I just like a little difference. I like it to look rustic. You want to make it look homemade. And that's the way that I would serve if I were doing individual portions. Now, if your guests actually would like to be involved in this process, is you can give them the tools and walk them through this, what we just did. That way they're interacting with that. So you can either do it for them or have them help you, have them do this with you. That's a way for them to become excited, to learn, to educate. And I think that's the way that, for me, I hope that CBD in your kitchen helps bring people together around something that will be beneficial for them, nutritionally speaking, medically speaking, who knows? But opening up the door and having an avenue in which you can help bring people to at least open their mind to the consumption to hemp oil, I think this is so fun, especially around the holidays, especially these times where we're not all necessarily going to be able to get together. And so whether you're having a friends over, your Friendsgiving, whether you're doing it with your family, whether you're doing it with the family that you have closest to you, it doesn't matter. Make it the holiday, make it fun, make it exciting, and bring something new to the table, literally. Well, that's it for now. I hope I helped at least take out some of the guesswork when you're entertaining and want to introduce people to CBD for the very first time. And this is perhaps one of my favorite hummus recipes. So by all means, you can double the recipe and it will keep in your refrigerator for up to 10 days. I put it on everything. Okay, that's it. That's all. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you for dessert.
My name is Priscilla Goncilio. I am the president of CBDIA, the Cannabinoid Industry Association.
I'm Len May. I am the CEO and co-founder of EndoCanna Health. Super grateful to have the opportunity to speak to all of you about the future of hemp and CBD as a wellness and therapeutic product. We believe in education, research, and validation, not just through science, but through personalization. So think about it this way, 33% of consumers have purchased a CBD product. 62% have heard of CBD. It's not bad. Thinking that this is a prohibited, unregulated substance that is still illegal in many parts of the world. And we're talking about cannabidiol, which is a cannabinoid found in the cannabis plant. So 92% of consumers do not know if CBD products are even federally regulated. Do you? Well, some believe that CBD is just another name of marijuana. And 51% believe that CBD is intoxicating. Is it intoxicating? Well, it is psychoactive, but it's not necessarily intoxicating. And it does work as an adverse agonist of THC. When some people say, I consume too much THC, perhaps CBD may be a solution. And 66% believe that all CBD products are safe. Well, there's over 500,000 people that die of acetaminophen every single year. There is no such thing as everything is safe. Sugar, caffeine, but you have to know what's right for you.
I've been in the cannabis and hemp space for the last 15 years. I'm co-founder of the Original Breeders League, an award-winning cannabis genetics farm. At our farm, we breed both cannabis and CBD cultivars for various climates and regions throughout the world, and for different purposes such as fiber, cannabinoids, terpenes, and oil production. Throughout that process, it was also sometimes necessary to assist with educating the market and government agencies to advise on legislation, policy reform, and industry development. Since the early 20th century, the use of cannabis was rejected by the Western culture at large. In the United States, a wave of regulations made access to cannabis much more difficult starting from the late 1900s, which ultimately led to the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 that made effectively cannabis use a federal crime. Meanwhile, prohibition in Canada lasted for 85 years until being lifted by recent changes in the law. The cannabis plant, however, has a much deeper history than that. The cannabis plant has been widely regarded for its therapeutic potential for many millennia by different cultures worldwide. This information comes to us from MediRelief. It focuses on the medical uses of cannabis discovered by many cultures over time, with applications dating back to ancient empires such as Rome, Egypt, and China.